Hey, happy Friday. I'm Jen Wilson, and I'm here with my good friend, really great friend, Amy Vetter. Amy, hello.
Hello.
We're
Happy
here for,
Friday.
yeah, happy Friday. We're here for another episode of Leadership Lunch Chat, where we process leadership issues in the profession. We talk about ideas that are either like exciting and we can't wait to get them out of our mouth, or they're weighing on us sometimes, and we have to confess them or just get them out. I think today is probably more excitement, but also potential risk. The idea that Amy and I have for today's leadership lunch chat is that we would process and discuss, and I think it's early days for this conversation, but artificial intelligence, super exciting. Everybody wants to talk about AI and how much time it's going to save. And we did spend some time talking about the risks of that time savings and not capturing revenue. We're not going to do that today. Instead, what we thought we would have all of us kind of contemplate and explore is this idea that artificial intelligence tools will be available pretty scalable cloud basis to clients as well as to us. That all of our competitors potentially would have the same AI tools. And I know some of you are building agents and you're spending, solid development dollars to try to create differentiating technology, and that's awesome. I fundamentally believe we're all going to get to some kind of place where things norm at some point out there, where we're all sort of using similar to the same technologies, getting similar to the same outputs. And the big question mark to me is, if a client can use AI to get the same tax research answer that you can get, and they are doing that, then what are you going to do to add value? Like, where is your unique, special, and different? Why would the clients continue to use us if the deliverables can be produced um, with AI tools and technologies? And why would they use us for advice if the AI tools are giving advice and giving them the same advice? And it's funny because I've been contemplating this and I have some ideas and answers. It's not just all questions, but I was on the phone with a firm yesterday, and one of the women on the call said, our clients now are taking our deliverables that we produced and putting them into their AI engines, especially our cover letters. If we send a transmittal letter with a bunch of instructions on tax, or if we're sending findings audit report letter, they're putting that into their AI engines and getting input from the AI on the quality of our deliverable, or what questions should we be asking, or is there anything that my provider should have told me? And they're coming back to us with AI output on our own deliverables. And I thought,
Interesting.
yeah, how smart those clients are. Of course, of course they would do that. They would say, "Hey, streamline this." If I run a multi-state operation and I get a very long transmittal letter with my tax return, and if it could, if AI could simplify, like, what do I need to do on this deadline versus all of the other things on the other deadlines, that might be helpful to me. And so I think we as a profession are going to need to really be thinking about, as individual service delivery providers and as organizations, how are we going to demonstrate value to clients when we all have these powerful but same tools? What do you think, Amy?
Well, a couple things. So I think accounting is one of those things that is a mystery to most people. And I'll go back to kind of what hit me in my childhood. So I would go to networking events. My mom was a small business owner, and she would take me from the time I was like 12 years old to all these business networking events, and they were all business owners or property owners and so forth. And I would ask them, what should I major in? And every single person said accounting. They said, if you go into accounting, no matter what you do, you understand business. And, it's years later, I kind of rethought about what they were saying to me. And what they were saying to me is that they don't understand it well enough from the people that they go to. So they feel like you'd have to go to school to understand accounting, where instead, if your accountant was acting as an advisor, they would have the time to explain these things. You wouldn't feel like you would have to major in accounting to understand how business works. Like, those are the experts that you need. And I think over time, what we haven't understood as a profession is our value is not our time, it's our advice. And it is our face time. It's not our timesheet time. And it's the time that we set aside to actually explain what's going on to a client so that they can understand and help them through it. And so what you're basically saying now is that now I have a tool, because my accountant might not be spending the amount of time with me that they should be spending with me. So I'm going to go to this AI tool to verify what they're saying, because I have no other way of understanding what they're doing, nor am I getting the explanation, and I don't want to feel dumb. So I'm a smart person. I have a good business, and I need someone to help me understand it. And I think that's sad. So to me, what that leads is there's a gap. It's not that AI is the issue. The issue is that we're not spending the human time we need with our clients, so they don't feel they have to go to those lengths to understand what's happening. And so if we could just flip the script in this profession and understand that these tools help speed up the process so that we can do what is valuable and spend the time with a client and help them understand their numbers, their business, how things affect their business, be tracking with them every single month, and be that true advisor in their practice, we wouldn't be so scared about AI.
Oh, man. Amen, sister. I mean, I'm so with you. And there's a part of me, like, for dramatic effect, I would like to lay my head down on my keyboard right now and like make wailing noises, because, I'm kind of grossed out to have to, like you use the word advisor. That's what triggered me. But, like, we're supposed to be more. We're supposed to be being more for our clients, man. I've been saying that, like, as I think about this issue, this isn't profound stuff. This is like stuff we've already talked about, dang it. And we just haven't been doing it. And we're supposed to translate. We're supposed to interpret the numbers for our clients. We're supposed to have them understand. First, we got to know them well enough. We got to have real deep relationships. And I think one of our little secrets in accounting is we talk about deep, long lasting relationships, but because of staff shortages and because, frankly, maybe we aren't that, we're so technical, we haven't cared that much about the relationship. We say we have them, but I observe that we have been skating the surface of real deep relationships with our clients, not just because of time. Staff shortages have kept us in a transactional mode, a conveyor belt mode with our deliverables with clients for some time now. AI will buy us back that time, but I think even if you remove the time objection, we got to get over this, like, I don't know, personal aversion or what it is, where we don't stop and really dig in with clients. Like, what are your hopes, dreams, fears, doubts? What do you really want to get out of this? Where are you headed? What does your next 5 years look like? What are your biggest challenges? What are you most afraid of? We got to know that stuff about our clients, and then we got to help them make plans. We should be helping our clients make plans. And I say it simply like that because if I say we should be helping our clients with, visioning their future or a strategic plan or, a financial plan, if I say any of those things, it makes everybody think like big document production and I got to go back to school for consulting or something. But we know our client's current state because we see their numbers. That's their current state. We need to help them map to their desired future state. And we need to translate technology and translate numbers to help them map their plans. And we should have been doing it all along. And some of you have been, and I applaud you. So don't get mad at me because I'm acting like nobody did it. But a whole bunch of us haven't been doing it. We've been transacting on the tax and audit report side and even financial statements in CAS. We're still not giving them dashboards and we're still not giving them roadmaps to get them where they want to get. And when we do that, we are indispensable. No technology will replace us. And the other thing is that we know the nuances and we know the little pieces that they're not going to feed into their prompts to AI that would make the AI's response to them mostly right, but missing some stuff. Mm-hmm. That's what we're supposed to be. We're supposed to be the guys that know all the other little pieces of these people's financial picture and their tax picture over time and things like that, that we have to add the value of those pieces to this technology and help them understand that when they just put a prompt in and get an answer, it's going to be missing those things. And we don't want to act like the technology is not that smart. We don't want to downgrade our thoughts about the technology because it's pretty amazing and they're going to see that. But instead, it doesn't have the whole picture. And I have the other pieces because I'm deep with you and I care about you and I've invested in knowing them. And that's going to change the game, I think, for all of us if we could do that.
Yeah, I mean, the one thing doctors have been complaining about forever is don't go on the internet to look up an answer and to listen to them, right?
Yes.
But why do we do it? Because we can't get the answers we need when we need it.
Yeah, or we enjoy having paranoid thoughts, I guess.
Yeah.
It will give them to you, right?
But you also are not sure they're giving you all the information that you need, that you're trying to take control of your own health, and this isn't any different. And there's nothing to feel competitive with when you have a deep relationship.
Right.
So even, it doesn't matter, because ever since, I mean, I can't even, this has got to be 30 years going of, being mad at Intuit if they have the direct side going after small businesses. And now they've got, new, basically Intuit hubs popping up, with accountants and so forth. We don't have to worry about competition if we are delivering a service that's unique. And that service is relationships. And our profession is the soul of it. And it is very hard to ever lose a client for a cheaper price if you're providing so much value that they can't imagine not having you as part of their business. So it's really important to think of these things of how they can enable you and even enable your client to be able to get the answers that they need. But where is it in your service that you're going to augment those tools to create deep relationships or create an experience that they've never had before? And that's the work right now. I mean, there's two lanes of work. One is you have to figure out how to utilize these tools in your tech stack. And going back to what you said earlier, how do you utilize them so that you're not the same accountant as the next one, right? Like you're utilizing them to deliver something unique. Else what you are is competing with the H&R Blocks and the TurboTax, buildings and so forth. So what you really have to do at this point, I believe, is step back and just pause and say, if I could redesign this whole thing right now, what would it look like? And then fill in the gaps. Like dream about what you envision for your practice, how you would like it to operate, how you would like to work, how you would like your team members to work, how would you like to be interacting with your clients, and then go solve for the gaps of what you need in your practice from a technology perspective in order to deliver that. And where are your moments of delight? I think a place where accounting firms, because the work has been so deadline driven and people have to do it, it's one of the few industries where we don't step back and think about a customer journey. What is the customer experience all the way from prospecting through long-term relationship? And where are the moments of delight that we're going to create where people are like, oh, I don't hate meeting with my accountant. Like, I really enjoy it and I look forward to it because it's helping me, it's helping my business, and it's helping my family as well. And so those are important things to think about, of the play and the delight you can have right now versus the dread. And if you can get past that and really think about what you could create right now and who you could bring into the process to create it, you can really have something unique.
Wow, I love every bit of that. Yeah, what gives us joy? What gives our clients joy? What do they need? How can we enhance their financial acumen? How can we help them get to goals faster? Sometimes when we think about this kind of depth, Amy, traditionalists might think, I don't know if you ladies get it, but I got 300 clients on my roster, and how can I get that kind of depth with them? And then you're like, well, let's reduce the size of the roster. That's one place to look, but also if you don't want to exit those from the firm, how can we move clients off your roster to somebody else's? How can we push client ownership down? We wonder how we're going to get our people ready to work in different ways if I don't have to teach them as much technical prep work as I have had to do in the past. If that starts to be infallible, and it will be, it's a little bit like the days of accounting software. We didn't trust accounting software and its output. We double checked every report and every decimal place and everything. And then pretty soon we went, well, accounting software works. It just works. We know that the calculations are correct. They know what they're doing. That stuff's baked. That's how AI is going to be at some point. We're not going to be triple checking every single thing. It's going to produce stuff that works. And so if we have to prepare our people differently and we want to elevate their advisory skills, their relationship skills earlier, give them client ownership, for crying out loud. Move some of those smaller clients off your roster down to other people at other levels. We still encounter firms of great size that have partners signing every return. That's nuts. You shouldn't be doing that. That was given up a long time ago by a lot of people, so you can't go deep with clients if you're carrying too many. And the 80-20 rule applies. 80% of the revenue is coming from 20% of the clients. And if you're not super deep with those, and you're not finding ways to give them the delight that Amy expresses and encourages, and also ways to really help them transform. I mean, it's so overstated, and we at Convergence use the word transformation and have for 26 years. But are you being transactional or transformational? And to me, if we're transactional with our clients, that's what we're doing. We're transacting. I owe you a deliverable. You give me your stuff. I punch out the deliverable. I bill you for it. I'll see you next year. That's transactional. You could be replaced by technology, and you could be replaced by that low-cost leader that pops in there into your marketplace and wants to price it a little lower than you do because your client's going to get a transaction from them too. And being transformational, it's hard to automate the care and the interest that demonstrates. And clients will stay with you if they believe you're in their corner and you're pulling for them, but pulling them sometimes to where they said they wanted to go, and that you're part of that success, way more than just transacting on deliverables. And I just don't think we're really there yet as a profession. Some are, and some services are more so, but there's so much more to do. And so I'm afraid that we could fall into the trap of leveraging AI, over leveraging it, and becoming like an AI Me Too or an AI sameness for clients. I deliver them the output that AI gave me. Well, they use the same engine. They asked me what AI engine we're using in tax. I told them they licensed one copy. They asked the same stuff. AI Me Too. And then we're really in trouble. And I know that we are better than that as a profession. It's going to help us, not hurt us, if we use it right. And it will make space in our lives to make a bigger difference, which most of us really got into this profession to do. So I love processing this with you, Amy. And it's just the beginning of us processing it because it's such early days of the impacts in our profession. Thanks everybody for tuning in on these Friday leadership lunch chats. Amy and I really appreciate the opportunity to wander in these big questions with you, and we welcome you to input back to us in social media or in other ways your thoughts on the subject, but also any other subjects you want us to cover. And until we see you again, thank you and have a great weekend and a great week ahead.
Have a great weekend. Thank you.